If you want a dog who walks nicely on a leash and doesn't pull you around and ignore your commands, you'll first need to develop some good foundational focus skills. Be sure you've completed our focus and attention activities lesson first. The key with loose leash walking, and with walking in heel position, is that your dog is paying attention to you and is focused on you while she's walking next to you. Warm up before your loose leash lesson by clicker loading your dog, and then running through a few stationary focus exercises. Starting out your training lessons in this way helps your pooch to get her brain into training mode. Next, move into some in-motion focus. Take a few steps backward while indicating to your dog that you'd like him to come along with you. You can use a verbal cue such as "let's go," or make smooching noises. Click as your dog begins to move with you. The clicker will mark his behavior as correct, and when he receives that feedback, he'll be encouraged to continue to follow you. The single most important thing you are looking for is for your dog to offer eye contact to you. Continue moving and watch for opportunities to reward your dog for paying attention to you. Practice this activity as much as you need until your dog gets really good at it. Stop occasionally. Wait for your dog to stop and sit, and reward this behavior too. Once your dog consistently mirrors your movements and stops and sits when you stop, you can begin to sharpen his focus and perfect his position next to you. For variation, try changing your speed or your direction. When your movements become less predictable, you suddenly become more interesting to your dog. High-energy dogs in particular love this game, and it's a great way to channel his energy into something productive. Traditionally, dogs are taught to walk on our left side. The history behind this has to do with the dog's handler having his right hand free to wield a weapon. If you prefer to have your dog positioned on your right side, you'll want to follow the mirror opposite of these instructions. Hold some treats in your left hand and your leash and clicker in your right hand and start briskly walking. I say briskly because you want your movement to capture your dog's attention and compel her to move along with you. You can also pair this with a verbal cue such as "let's go." Give your dog a click the moment she starts moving. Give her a treat reward once she catches up to you, and continue your brisk walk. Give clicks, praise, and food rewards every time she glances up at you. Occasionally come to a halt, wait for your pup to sit, and click and reward once she's sitting. Once you're out of treats, stop the exercise by giving your dog her release word. Reload your pocket with treats and start again. At first, you might only take a step or two at a time between treats, but eventually you'll want to wean your dog off of such frequent rewards. You can do this by gradually increasing the number of steps you take between the treat rewards. Continue to use the clicker and verbal praise to bridge that gap for a while. But you can eventually phase out the clicker use too. Be mindful of the fact that some dogs rely more heavily on clicker and verbal feedback than others do. If you start seeing a decrease in your dog's progress, try increasing the positive feedback he's receiving. Just like humans, dogs love to hear they're doing a good job, and they work harder when they're recognized for their efforts. Tips to remember. Distractions. As with teaching any new skill or activity, start out in a distraction-free environment and gradually increase the level of distraction around you as your dog is ready to be challenged. Your dog might be able to perform perfectly in your living room, but don't expect the same perfect performance in a crowded public place without lots of practice. Distance. The number of steps you take in between treat rewards should increase little by little. When training loose leash walking, expect to give out lots of treats in the beginning. This is a tough skill for many dogs to learn, and until loose leash becomes more of a habit, it will need plenty of reinforcement. You may want to invest in a treat pouch to wear on longer walks. Oh, and speaking of duration, your dog will need to build up the stamina to take longer and longer focused walks with you. I'm not just referring to your dog's physical stamina, but also to his mental stamina. For a lot of dogs, walking nicely on a leash takes a lot of self-control. Self-control comes with practice and maturity. Keep your focus walks short at first. When your pooch starts getting the hang of loose leash walking, you can start teaching her to walk in heel position. We'll show you how to get that perfect heel in another video. Want to be notified when we post new training videos? Subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.